New York, just to the east of Buffalo, New York. We're in the midst of our first significant lake effect snow event of the year. And to make matters worse, the wind is howling out here. Wind chills in the single digits. A live report coming up.
Welcome back to PM Edition. From one storm to the next, tonight we're tracking the first major lake event of the season.
Yeah, strong winds and blowing snow have caused whiteout conditions for drivers around several Great Lakes locations.
The band of snow is narrow, but the wind is strong, and that means lake effect snow is being pushed all the way into New England, if you can believe that. In fact, we're forecasting localized snowfall amounts of 3 to 4 feet in some locations east of Lake Ontario by Saturday morning.
Okay, let's get a check on how conditions are right now around the Great Lakes. Our very own meteorologist Paul Goodlow is there east of the Buffalo area, and you can see the stretch of moisture coming right off of Lake Erie into the Buffalo area and East Aurora. So, Paul, show us what's going on.
Well, this is the holiday season, and, you know, this part of the country, this part of the world in upstate New York, this is also the lake effect snow season. And this is their first significant lake effect event of the year. And to make matters worse, as you can see, we're dealing with extremely gusty winds. Winds perfect direction for lake effect. We're talking from the southwest, west-southwest. And that continues to take that band and, yeah, dump snow here, but also we're talking miles east of here, across Rochester, even as far east as Massachusetts, as Nick just showed you there on the radar. And it continues to be blown on very gusty winds. At times we have winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour on top of the sustained winds in that 20 to 30 mile per hour range, which right now as the temperature drops down to the upper teens, low 20s, it makes the wind chill down to about, say, 1 or 2 degrees above zero. And that wind chill is expected to drop as the temperature drops as we head overnight as well. And over the last hour or two, we're seeing actually the snow rate kind of pick up a little bit, but it's hard to really judge that because with these gusty winds, the snow is almost blowing sideways from time to time. And some impressive snow totals so far. East Aurora, at 11 o'clock this morning, we picked up 6.5 inches. And over the next 5 hours, officially just 1 more inch. So now we're sitting at 7.5 inches, but I got to tell you that some of the drifts here could easily be 3 or 4 times that amount. We're also seeing snow totals over a foot, 12.4 inches in West Seneca, which is about 5 miles northwest of here. And with snow totals, they take one official measurement, but I'm pretty sure there are many areas here in western upstate New York already dealing with a foot plus of snow. In fact, off of Lake Ontario, which is well north of here, up here in the Tug Hill Plateau, already closing in on 2 feet of snow. We're talking halfway through that 4 foot, which is expected in some locations. Let's talk about the snow. This is very light and fluffy snow, so it's easy to shovel, but also easy to blow around. These are just some of the drifts that we're dealing with here. And let's get the measuring stick here. We're talking, you know, just 7, 8 inches of snow, which has blown there over the last, say, 3 or 4 hours. So, and again, this is the light, fluffy snow. These aren't big, heavy, and chunky and slush piles. This is, you know, out in the western ski resorts, powder snow. And speaking of snow and powder and ski resorts, yeah, we're talking Holiday Mountain, a ski resort not too far from here in western New York. They opened today, yeah, because of making snow, but also plenty of snow coming down with Mother Nature. So, yeah, definitely the holiday season across the world, Nick and Vivian, but here in upstate New York, it's lake effect snow season.
And I would expect your mind to go to skiing. Definitely, Paul. That's the first thing you'd think of when you see snow like that.
Yeah, I think last time I was in this type of conditions, I had either some skis or a snowboard on my feet, not a pair of boots, and normally you couldn't see my face because I'd protect it from this wind. But yeah, I guess the rules of the job say I have to show my face for this job.
All right, well, thank you for doing that, Paul. Wow, just it continues to come down. And I want to show you this snow band here on the radar. Actually, we had a couple of bands here south of Buffalo that have merged now, and this has already produced, south of the city in West Seneca, over a foot of snow. We've seen over 19 inches here around the Tug Hill Plateau, and the winds are, as Paul mentioned, really whipping here in this area. We're seeing those winds gusting anywhere between, say, 30 to 45 miles an hour. Vivian, I'm going to ask if you can just reach over there and make sure that that's in play, because I'd like to show you just how far these snow bands are reaching. Not only around the Great Lakes, not only into central portions of New York State, but also even farther toward the east. That's because these winds are so strong. All the way into Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine, we're getting these lake effect snow bands off of Lake Ontario across the Adirondacks all the way into Maine. That is even having the meteorologist here at the Weather Channel sit up and take notice. Well, you're going to be taking notice of all the snow that will continue to fall here around Grand Rapids, still under blizzard warnings, and those go through the night into tomorrow. As those winds continue to whip, we'll see more snowfall, 1 foot and maybe even 3 to 4 feet in some areas. Vivian?
Well, get ready for some slick streets across parts of the South. Don't miss the details on the wet weather expected, and we could even see some wintry precipitation. And bitter cold is gripping much of the nation.